Hi there, it's Ashley and I am here today to share a layout with you for Altenew using the Reflection Collection. And I'm getting started here. I have the little die cut sheet that you can see, and it had the rosette flowers, which I used up a long time ago. So I thought it would be fun to make my own flowers, and what I'm doing is using one of the pattern papers from the collection, and I'm just going to trace that flower onto this pinky kind of pattern paper color and then just cut it out with my scissors. And you can see I have the striped paper there in the background also, and I'm going to use that for my leaf shapes. So I'm going to do this first one for you here. If you have some pencil marks that you leave when you're cutting, you can just use your eraser to get rid of those. So I'm looking for placement for my leaves here, and I'm going to trace all three of the leaf shapes on this first flower. And these were actually white, so I'm adding color by making my own using the pattern papers from the Reflection Collection. And I wanted to pick up just some of the light pinks that are in my photo. This does have some darker pinks in it, but that's okay. I like the mix of colors that I end up with at the end of the layout. So once I get the last little leaf cut here, I'm going to adhere those to the flower shape that I cut out. And this is a good way to make use of maybe supplies that you've run out of, using things like this die cut sheet as a stencil and things like that, which is a fun way to extend your supplies and think of new ways that you can use them. So you can see there I have it finished. That won't be the final look. I actually do some machine stitching off camera just to add some texture to it and give the flower a little more oomph, I guess you would say, just to kind of jazz it up a little bit. So now you can see I've got 3 of them here that I finished, and I did add the stitching to those. So I really like the texture that adds and just kind of some dimension that it gives to the inside part of the flower. So I grabbed another one of the pattern papers from the collection. This one just has the little gray polka dots, and I wanted to add that over my white cardstock background. And I'm going to kind of create a little band across that area right there using my photo and the flowers and some embellishments from the collection. So I'm going to use adhesive and pop dots to add these flowers, just to have different heights and dimension on those to add more interest to the layout and just have that layering look going on with the flowers. So I'm going to add 2 here on the left hand side and then also another on the right hand side to balance that out. So once I have those in place, I grab these fun kind of epoxy little stickers for my title. This was a photo from Moody Gardens in Texas. I think it's in Galveston. We went there over the Thanksgiving holiday this past year, and they had this pretty kind of lantern area set up, and I loved the way this looked with the soft lights, and so I had to snap a photo of it. So I just kept my title simple, and I like that contrast of the black letters with all of the other softer colors that are going on. And now I'm using some of the chipboard pieces and some of the stickers. I placed these on the right and left hand side, but in a minute you're going to see that I actually decide to switch those. Sometimes I get things on the layout and I don't like the flow or how the balance looks, so I wanted to bring in this chipboard floral piece here. And once I kind of started trying to work that in, I didn't like the way it looked with the Collecting Happy Memories bigger sticker on that right hand side, so I do switch those. Sometimes you can get things up fairly easily. I knew that I was going to be placing things around, so I didn't worry too much if I tore my photo or had a little bit of extra adhesive, because I knew I could cover those up. So I liked that a lot better, having the bigger one on the left hand side and the smaller hello on the right hand side. So that worked out good, that I was able to get those pieces up without causing a lot of damage to my layout. Sometimes I have to rip things off just to get them in the right spot, so that worked out great that they came up easily. And the pop dots are good because you can shift things around if you need to. I decided I wanted to move that flower up a little bit to kind of work that chipboard piece in. So I cut a strip from one of the other pattern papers just to bring in some more color there to the bottom of the layout. And I'm going to use that jet black ink pad from Altenew and the date stamp from the Reflection Collection to add my date. And then I had these little wood veneers. I want to add these, so I just kind of put them where I wanted them on the layout. And then I'm also going to add 2 of the little wood buttons here on the sides, but I'm going to take my wood veneers off in just a second to add some black spray mist. I didn't want the mist to get on those, and I always like to cover my photo with some scrap paper so that I don't sprinkle any of the color over my photo. Sometimes I do accidentally damage my photo or get something on it like adhesive, and sometimes I'll have to reprint it, but thankfully I did not have that happen on this layout. That was the original photo, so I didn't have to replace it. And then I'm just going to add a couple of the stickers from the sticker sheet here. And I'm just going to finish things off with this little arrow sticker. I'm just finding the perfect spot for it. And you'll see a couple of things I added at the very end here on the finished layout and the close-ups. I hope you enjoyed watching, and if there's anything you're interested in that I used, you can pick that up in the Altenew shop. I'll leave a link in the bottom for you to check that out. So thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you next time for my next video.